Rolling.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Editor's Roundtable. I'm Todd, Editor-in-Chief of Functional Ingredients Magazine and NPI Center. Today we're sitting here with Jeff Hilton. He's the partner and co-founder of Integrated Marketing Group, and Carlotta Mast, who's the editorial director of Nutrition Business Journal. I guess the first thing we should talk about is the role of the changing supplier. The role of the supplier is changing. It's really not just ship a drum and be done with it. Jeff, lend us your insights as to what's going on with the supply world.
Well, we work with a lot of supply companies, and I think that over the years, the co-branding activity continues, but it's kind of taken a new raised to a new level, and that is that manufacturers are increasingly expecting that suppliers will be more innovative in terms of formulation assistance, in terms of positioning the consumer, in terms of creative ideas to position self-brand, as well as actually reaching out to the consumer with PR and other kinds of activities and advertising to help create awareness and pull the consumer in.
Is there a supplier that you think is doing a particularly good job of branding their ingredients and helping their partners position those ingredients for consumers?
I think that DSM, Cognis, Hako, all are examples of companies that are doing a great job of that.
So I wanted to talk to you because, not surprisingly, functional food and beverage sales were down. Growth was down slightly in the United States last year, but number of new product launches was actually only slightly down from the high in 2008. And it seems like we're seeing kind of a move from ingredients going into supplements into food and beverages. And I'm just wondering what you're seeing in terms of that shift.
There's a lot of movement from supplements into foods. You saw it at IFT, the number of companies that were there, the number of and most of our supplement supply companies on that side are increasingly looking at the food and beverage market as being a core market for them and a core outlet for the products, seeking GRAS status. There's a definite shift in terms of.
So do you think ultimately is that a good move? I mean, does that coincide with consumer, interest to move these ingredients into food versus supplement?
There's no question. I just saw another study the other day that commented that consumers would rather get their condition-specific assistance, health assistance through foods rather than supplements. So, I mean, functional foods it's going to change in a paradigm. I mean, it's definitely here to stay.
And it seems like there's the gray area between supplements and foods, supplements and drugs. It all, I think it's part of the whole health care paradigm, particularly in America, where people, they want to take care of their own health, and so is that going to be from a drink or a food or a supplement or a drug if need be? It's all part of that shift. I guess there's another shift in the market is the renewed interest in science and innovation. What can you talk about that?
I think that as companies come into the industry, and we get a lot of those calls, increasingly what we're seeing is that they're recognizing that science is part of the price of entry into the category. That wasn't the case, a decade ago, even 6-7 years ago. Companies would come in, they had a dream, they had a vision, help us make this a reality. Now companies will come in and say, we got a clinical study, or we're about to do a clinical study, can you help us develop this brand from the ground up? And it's a lot easier when you have science to base the development on than when you don't.
Right. Science is the key to the future of this industry. Thanks, and join us next week for another edition of the Editor's Roundtable.